Hello and welcome to stage 2 of the Richmond NASCAR event in Real Racing 3. Now we are actually at Richmond versus day 1 when we were at Daytona. And there's an error here. It's not 10 meters. It's 10 seconds of skidding. So, don't know why that is that way. But anyways, I'm going to switch back to not having my assists on. And I'll see how that works here. In the past, I used to actually use steering assist high here. So, yikes, this is a bad start. Oh my goodness. Richmond is actually a really tricky track. It's a very challenging track, actually. Might give you some respect for NASCAR if you don't like NASCAR very much. A few tips I would say with racing Richmond is that having manual accelerator and manual brakes is very handy. Now right here, I did not practice this. I haven't driven this track for quite a while. I had a pretty good handle of it before, but that's in other NASCARs, and so I'm just letting you see my mistakes. For this track, you got to get into the brakes early and into the gas really early, like a lot earlier than it feels like you should. Now the reason why manual accelerator is handy is because sometimes you need to coast a little bit. That's really handy here actually, is just knowing how to coast or feather the throttle. Feathering the throttle means you're going on and off the throttle repeatedly until you feel like you can get fully on the throttle. So you'll see me doing coasting here. I'm going to eat walls. Here I'm eating the walls a little bit. That's just because you really do need to get into the gas early. Sorry, I'm having some fun with Hamlin here. And let's drift this corner. Why not? Now, once you get the hang of this track, boy, you can go fast. And it's actually pretty easy to drive around the bots once you get the hang of it. It's a pretty wide track, so that's nice versus like there's other tracks like Martinsville, for instance. That's an even shorter track in NASCAR and very narrow and very flat. So Richmond is forgiving with its higher banking and wide track. So it's, not so bad. So this is where I'm realizing, boy, nowhere near just 10 meters of drifting, so I gotta find some more spots to drift here. But I also was working on handling Richmond. There we go, got the rest of my drafting in. Not a difficult stage, but just make sure you realize it's not 10 meters of drifting. Like 10 meters, that's almost nothing at all. So it's definitely not 10 meters. One more to go, 2 more to go. Okay, well let's just see if we can get this a little bit. I'm trying to get this braking point. See, you brake and then just as the car is starting to turn a little bit like this, that's not bad. This might be okay. Let's see if I can stay out of the wall. Yep, that's getting close. And in one of these other days, once I get these braking points more nailed, I already have a couple of things I'm looking at as my braking point, but I want to just work on it a little bit more before I get into that. Really nice thing about Richmond, very easy to get into lap traffic, and that can make it easier to catch the leader. Just so there you go. And again, the advantage of, so far it's been an advantage that I have all of this tuning. However, once we get to these types of events where there's a lot of drafting, this one's not bad, but sometimes it's very tricky because you're overpowering the competition by so much with these tunings. Richmond is a unique track in NASCAR. It's one of the D-shaped tracks. So the interesting thing about a D-shaped track is that the corners are quite different because one corner kind of opens up into a nice curved, kind of a straight. It's not really a straight. So this section coming up here, the corner opens up into this rounded straight. So it kind of feels like a straight, but it's not. And then this corner is a little bit tighter because it's going into a traditional straight. So you have to approach both corners differently. Now, got to make sure I get this drafting in. And I'm going to win. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Kyle. I'm going to win whenever I can. So I decided, well, I'll get up to the first place bot and just get all my drafting in on him. Now, of course, I'm really, here you can see that I'm not used to how much these bots are braking for these corners. And so I'm having a hard time actually staying bump drafting with Hamlin. And again, a lot of that's because I'm too overpowered. So here I realize I'm going to switch to driver view And maybe that'll help me to keep my eye on Hamlin a little bit better. Get off the throttle earlier, get on the brakes more so, try to stay hooked up for this draft. Because, you know, they're most likely going to have some stages where you have to have continuous drafting. That can be really hard when the bots want to wander around a lot. Now, with these NASCARs, no matter how many times you smack somebody, you will not crack your windshield. They are very strong cars. They don't really show much sign of wearing out, but they still can lose grip a little bit. But not much. These cars they're pretty tough. All right, there's my 5,000. I'll dump Hamlin. Oops, not what I meant to do at all. Oh, good. Got one more lap. I should be able to catch up. Let's see how I can. No, that wasn't quite great. I'm gonna hit this wall. I'm gonna have to get out. Oh, I just made it. Isn't that wonderful? And power out of this. Stay off that wall. Oh yeah, baby. Those Richmond walls kind of suck you in. It's tricky because you want to stay in that throttle, and you know that wall is curving away from you, but you just end up hitting it sometimes. Now, for this next race, you just can't get overtaken. Well, you have to overtake a handful of cars and then don't get overtaken. So, sounds simple enough. In fact, I think there's only 4 cars in this race. So it's very easy to get to the lead, and then it's time to practice the flow of Richmond. Ooh, that wasn't like that. That was bad. And of course, because Richmond is a short track, it's easy to have the night races here. So I like it that they've got the night racing. Lots of, so you got the low lights on the left, the low lights on the walls, and you have the highlights. And I really like how they paid attention to how these shadows are cast onto the track. It's pretty cool, actually. Very realistic to how this track actually looks if you watch races here. Okay, so watch on your right. See the wall, red, white, red, white, red, white. There's a little bit of black there. That's what I'm choosing as a braking point. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'm going at the beginning or the end of it. I'm kind of shooting for the middle. Same thing here. There's a really obvious little bend in the track. So there's a little portion of the wall that juts out, and there's another one of the black banners. That's it. That's your 2 braking points. But you get back on the gas before the car starts to dip down to the left like you see me doing there. You're into the throttle just before the steering gives you the feel that you could go lower. So as you're coming into that point, you don't want to go down on the shoulder like that at Richmond. You just don't do that. Don't take your left sides below that yellow line. It's going to cast your back end out. But I'm pretty happy with some of those lap times. We'll zip through this, and then I want to see what my lap time was. I think I got under 19 there. Let's flip over. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can do better yet. All right, bump drafting. This stage, well, actually I found this pretty frustrating because, again, I'm quite overpowered, and Hamlin is just a dog going into the D section of this track. Well, D section. The curved section, the curved side of the D. There's a straight side of the D, and there's the curved side of the D. Like, look at that. Here I am, thinking that he's going to be on my bumper. He's nowhere near me. He doesn't power out of the bots. Do not power out of that corner the way you expect them to. Now, as we get further on to harder bots, they'll do better. So, here's the thing. You slow down to try to let Hamlin catch up, and he starts trying to pass you. He's darting back and forth, So you got to watch where he is. You got to keep that number in the middle of your bumper. And then I'm way too far ahead of him again. Now, thankfully there's 4 laps. They're short laps, but that's enough time for me to at least get this in. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. You frustrated me, Hamlin. For that, you get the pit maneuver, and maybe a little bit worse. Oops. And then I mess up. Oh boy, he's all over the track though. And we still have 2 more laps to go. That's enough time for me to get a little bit more nasty. Okay, let's go. That's enough of that. Did I wreck him? No. Nope, he's still moving. I wonder if you could total someone if it's just a 2-person race. Well, don't worry, I'm not going to waste time to find out. A little more drifting around Richmond. When you get a lot of speed, you can have a little bit of fun here with the drifting. The banking helps to keep the car down. And we'll see. Sometimes we have stages where oops, that was not on purpose. Again, I'm still working on those throttle points. Now that is on purpose. And yes, sometimes I use the wall for fun. Oh, I was going for the big figure 8 across the start-finish line. Oh well, that's still fun. And that wraps up this day. So, please subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and please press like if you like what you're seeing. Here's the playlist where you can see everything, and another video for fun. Talk to you soon with Stage 3.